This is a quadratic type equation, and I know that because there are three terms on the left equal to 0 on the right, and the other sign is that if I take the middle power and I double it, I get the first power back. That's the other telltale sign. So if it is a quadratic type, I might be able to factor it. I really can't use the quadratic formula on it because as it stands, it's not a quadratic equation. It's not degree 2, it's degree 4. But I can try to factor it. Because the last sign is positive, both of these signs in the parentheses must be the same. The middle sign will tell you which one to pick. Instead of both positives, we're going to pick both negatives. And then you figure out the first term. How do you get x to the fourth? X squared times x squared. And then how do you get a positive 100? Well, there's a couple of options. 10 times 10 comes to mind, but I can tell that if I add a negative 10 and a negative 10 together, that's not going to give me the negative 29. So I want to think about other options, like 25 times 4. Alright, so that gives me negative 25x squared plus a negative 4x squared. So if I add those up, I get the negative 29x squared. And then set each of these factors equal to 0, solve for x. Now in this particular problem, you could factor further. This is the difference of two squared terms. So I could write down two sets of parentheses and factor further. If it isn't a square though, if this isn't a perfect square, then I still can solve it. And I'll show you the other method. And I think this one just works as quickly as factoring. We're going to solve for x and then use the square root method on it. Remember, to use the square root method, you also have to include the plus or minus symbol here. That's kind of a definition of the square root of x squared equals plus or minus square root of 25 is 5. Right. The square root of x squared is really by definition the absolute value of x. The absolute value of x we know has two values, plus or minus 5. Same thing goes on here. Add 4 to both sides. Right, and then take the square root of x squared plus or minus the square root of 4. And again, we're taking the square root of a positive number, so it's not going to be an imaginary I value, it's just going to be 2. So our two values are plus or minus 5, or 4 values rather, plus or minus 5 and then plus or minus 2. Those are our real solutions.